My name is Matthias Kunz, and I'm a channel manager at Zimbra. I have with me Kenneth Movie, who is the technical director of TecFlax. TecFlax is a Zimbra VAR partner based in the capital city, Nairobi in Kenya. In this webinar, we're going to show you some of the latest new integrations that are offered in Zimbra 9. And you'll obviously get the chance to know more about TecFlux as well and what they do and offer to their customers. But before we start, let me just take a minute to remind you that this webinar is being recorded and we will share this with you in the next week. And please stay on mute while we present. However, feel free to ask all your questions in the Q&A panel located on the right side of your screen. We will take a few minutes at the end to answer your questions. So Zimbra is the largest provider of open source and open core collaboration software in the world. Zimbra provides solutions to governments, service providers, educational institutions, as well as small businesses. Our solutions enable the exchange of information through various tools: email, contacts, calendars, tasks, document holders, chat, and video conferencing. And the Zimbra partner network is active and dynamic with almost 2,000 partners worldwide. Local partners who speak your language and understand your culture, offering messaging solutions in the form of licenses or cloud services that take into account the laws and regulations of your country, of installations. And of course, the potential to evolve Zimbra products through Zimlets and dedicated APIs is also available. This is just a general presentation of Zimbra solution. So the solution must be deployed on a Linux server and can also be accessed from a web interface where all the features are present, such as email, calendar, contacts, task management, chat, etc. This web interface is compatible with all the main internet browsers on the market, such as Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. The operating systems that can be used are obviously Windows or Mac OS. And Zimbra is available from any device, whether it is a desktop or laptop computer, a tablet, or a smartphone. And of course, this allows you to have access to your emails from anywhere at any time. What shows this synchronization is a protocol called ActiveSync, or what allows this synchronization rather. Finally, Zimbra has external integrations with Active Directory, OpenLDAP, and Microsoft Exchange. Now let me introduce Kenneth from TecFlax, and Kenneth is now able to share a few impressions how he is serving his customers and what TecFlux is all about. So Kenneth, hopefully you can hear me, and it's your turn now.
Oh, thank you, Matthias. I am Kenneth Mbuvi. I'm the technical director at TecFlux Solution. We are based here in Karen, Nairobi, and we are happy to be a close partner of Zimbra. I think can move to the next slide.
Sure.
So about us, TecFlux comprises we comprise a great team of professionally certified and skilled Linux engineers, DevOps, and database engineers. And we offer high-end, advanced, affordable ICT solutions. Primarily, we have specialized in open source enterprise solutions, and we implement these solutions to businesses, government institutions, organizations, which are looking to improve efficiency and effectiveness in their businesses. So because we have advanced experience, we offer very unique and superior service to businesses, be it small scale or large scale businesses, and also government institutions. Could we move to the next slide, please? So what we do, these are our services. We resell Zimbra, and we are also a certified implementation specialist for Zimbra. And we have implemented this Zimbra server for many clients across Africa. We also are a close partner of Barracuda. We resell Barracuda products. For example, when you set up your Zimbra server, you may need to get rid of any spam problems that are coming to your mail server. So we implement also for you anti-spam, Barracuda anti-spam and firewall solutions at a very affordable cost. The other one is we also implement, we also do Linux engineering. As an organization, we specialize in open source enterprise solutions. And especially Linux is our foundation for every project that we are working on. We don't work in proprietary or closed vendor solutions. For example, we implement Red Hat, SUSE. Of course, those are owned by Red Hat and SUSE, but now they have the enterprise provision. And also we specialize. I think we're one of the few companies in Africa who have specialized in DevOps engineering for implementing Docker Kubernetes infrastructure. Kubla Enterprise is just a Kubernetes enterprise grade platform. And then if you have existing monolithic applications, you are able to migrate migrate your application from monolithic to microservices architecture to help easily scale up your application and also your database infrastructure. And also we have also specialized in AWS infrastructure, specifically Lambda serverless. Another service that we do is ICT professional skills and certifications training. We have specialized an organization called Linux Professional Institute to train ICT staff from organizations in Linux level 1, which is Linux admin, Linux level 2, which is Linux engineer, and Linux level 3, which you can specialize in enterprise professional security, mixed environment, or virtualization, high availability, and clustering. So apart from that, we also train in LPI DevOps tools engineer, which is a certification of LPI, and any other certifications. Some of those that we have trained before is Red Hat, SUSE, Linux admins, Linux engineer, Oracle certifications, CISA, IT, ISO certifications, and EC Council for cybersecurity. Let us go to the next slide. Another one that we've been implementing a lot is the MySQL Enterprise Edition, which is owned by Oracle. So we have the MySQL Commit and we have the MySQL Enterprise. So we also resell and implement MySQL Enterprise. We're actually an Oracle certified specialist. And the other one is professional ICT consultancy services. Whichever infrastructure that you want to implement as an organization will be very handy to assist you in making the right decisions. We also implement document management system based on Logical Doc, employee monitoring and data loss prevention, which is the Teramin product. And lastly, we do offer 24/7 365 SLAs for open source enterprise solutions, support contracts for any open source enterprise solutions. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so these are our partners that we're working with. SUSE as a solutions and training partner, Linux Professional Institute as a approved training partner, MySQL as a value-added reseller and implementation specialist, a certified implementation specialist. Red Hat as a solutions and training partner. Zimbra as a value-added reseller and implementation specialist. Technora is on Dubai. We also resell and implement their products. They actually own the distribute Theramine product for the DLP, and Barracuda for anti-spam and foul solution. Let's go to the next slide. So these are some of our special achievements. As I said before, we have implemented Zimbra Mail and Zimbra Talk or Connect for businesses and government institutions across Africa. We've actually implemented for several government institutions here in Kenya and also in Southern Africa. We have also implemented and done quality assurance for MySQL Enterprise Database and Docker Kubernetes mobile app infrastructure in a big bank in West Africa. We were also awarded LPI approved training partner of the year 2019. In 2019, also we decided to become a platinum sponsor to do free bootcamp training in DevOps and Linux, and we also did some presentations to various government institutions who are in attendance and businesses. So I think the last two are conducting Linux training. This is what we usually do every month for various organizations, and also we implemented tons of WordPress sites and DevOps projects. I think that's all. I can move to the next slide.
I think that was your last slide, actually, Kenneth. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was great. So now let's.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. So basically, now let's move on to introducing you to the new version of Zimbra 9. It's not that new anymore, but it is still certainly worth going into the functionalities and the new features of Zimbra 9. And basically, if you work remotely from home or on the go and are counted on to deliver mission critical deadlines, Zimbra is really the collaboration. This is really the collaboration platform for you. So we're very, very happy to introduce Zimbra 9 to you. And what springs into you in what catches your eye straight away is that it has a new and modern UI that is responsive and delivers the same experience on mobile devices, tablets, and desktops. So anytime, anywhere, and any device, users will have a consistent Zimbra interface. Unlike competitors with closed platforms, Zimbra 9 is also designed to be extensible. So small businesses, enterprises, governments, as well as service providers can integrate with the third-party collaboration services they already use today. And the new Zimlet framework allows customizations for users who need to meet geographic or industry-specific requirements. And Zimlets are now even easier to build and to deploy. Zimbra 9 is also built with Zimbra's dependable server infrastructure, providing the security, privacy, and data sovereignty that Zimbra customers have come to expect. This also makes the upgrade to Zimbra 9 very easy. With no migration, current Zimbra users will be able to gain access to the new experience with an easy self-upgrade. But our professional services team is there to support if you run into any issues. To ease the transition and adoption of Zimbra 9, your users will have the option to toggle to the classic Zimbra UI. And just like always, Zimbra 9 can be deployed on premises, in public or private clouds, or as a hosted service from Zimbra service providers in your own country. Let's talk a little bit more about the new responsive user interface. As mentioned before, Zimbra 9 introduces a modern, responsive user interface that is based on industry-leading React-based technology that adapts to the screen it's used on. So users can move seamlessly between desktop, mobile, and tablet browsers while enjoying a consistent and easy-to-use email and collaboration experience. The layout changes based on the size and capabilities of the device. So for example, on a phone, users would see mail view in a single column view. A tablet will show the same content in 2 columns, and desktops have 3 columns. But the functionalities don't diminish with a smaller screen size, except for some intentionally avoided functionalities like the email advanced composer. The mobile screen supports all advanced functionalities that the web or tablet supports. And third-party integration, there are third-party integrations. Zimbra 9 is designed for extensibility and features best-in-class out-of-the-box integrations with Slack, Dropbox, and Zoom. And many other integrations are underway. Zimbra is fully committed to creating a collaboration ecosystem that allows small businesses, enterprises, and other organizations to utilize services they use day to day instead of being forced to use or pay for services they don't use. So this means you can break free from the closed systems of Microsoft and Google and use the apps that you have already invested in. And there is a new Zimlet framework. Zimbra 9's new Zimlet framework allows for customization, flexibility, ranging from high-end collaboration to simple business email. Exclusive and custom features can be delivered using the new Zimbra 9 Zimlet framework. For Zimbra administrators, deployment and enablement continues to behave as it has in the past. Customers across a range of regions and market sectors can easily customize Zimbra to meet their unique geographic or industry requirements. And documentation and training will also be available. But Zimbra 9 also allows end users to easily toggle between the new modern UI and the classic Zimbra UI. This will ease adoption as end users get accustomed to the new interface and minimize help desk calls. The toggle will be available at login and in Zimbra preferences. And there are more customization options. So just like previous versions of Zimbra and the classic UI, you can customize the look and feel of the modern UI for your organization's needs. You can customize logo and app icons, top navigation bar to support integration with external sites, login page, primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, favicon, title. You can customize the text of a browser window's title or the tab bar, and you can enable or disable forgot password link. That is for SSO enabled customers. And you can also customize the sidebar colors, link colors, header colors, etc. And the Zimbra branding guide will provide also more information. Now let's talk a little bit more about the Zimbra's dependable server infrastructure, which Zimbra 9 runs on. And it provides you the security, privacy, and data sovereignty that Zimbra's customers have come to expect, and in many cases actually require. So there's very easy upgrade. There's no migration needed. Users can expect an easy upgrade process moving from Zimbra 8 to Zimbra 9 with no data migration needed. And as usual, Zimbra will provide the documentation, tools, and professional services to support the upgrade process. And just like always, Zimbra can be deployed on premises, in public or private clouds, or as a hosted service from Zimbra service providers in your own country. So Zimbra really has let's talk about the latest integrations now, which Google has and Microsoft has it as well. So what does Zimbra have now? So, but first of all, let's take a moment and talk a little bit about features. So for example, features that Google has and features that Microsoft has. So we know that Microsoft and Google offer products bundled in a collaboration suite. Google calls their product G Suite, and via that product they offer their email product known as Gmail, Calendar, Google Drive, Hangouts, and lesser known products as Google Forms and Google Sites. And Microsoft offers a similar product, a collaboration suite called Microsoft 365, which has email, calendar, and products like Teams, OneDrive, Skype, and lesser known products like Microsoft Forms and even SharePoint for building corporate websites. Now, if Google has all that and Microsoft has all that, so what is it that Zimbra has? Zimbra has extensibility superpower. By means of an extension framework, you can create any extension you want. We even offer a larger number of guides to get you started on the development of those extensions that we call Zimlets. Now don't worry, you don't have to develop all these extensions yourself. We at Zimbra are set on bringing you the most frequently asked integrations. Therefore, we already offer Zimlets that integrate Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, Nextcloud, Zoom, Slack, Jitsi, and so on. Some of these will be shown to you at the end of this webinar. The Zimlet framework allows you to offer integrations with a wide range of products so that you're not tied to a single ecosystem. And this gives you the freedom to choose the applications you want. So you don't have to buy all your products from Google, you don't have to buy all your products from Microsoft. The Zimlet framework also helps you to bring in new customers that are tied to their existing products like CRM, ERP systems, or that customer that has just purchased an expensive video conferencing system. So integrating these existing products is a big plus that Zimbra offers that cannot be offered with Microsoft G Suite or Microsoft 365. Today, I'm going to show you the latest Zimlets that are available on Zimbra 9. I'm also going to explain why integrations with existing applications in Zimbra 9 can help you grow your business. But before that, I'd like to take a moment and do a quick refresher about Zimbra's 9 modern UI. Last year, with the release of Zimbra 9, we introduced the modern UI. The modern UI is a responsive UI that is consistent on all your devices. It really is important to remember that while on Zimbra 9 you have the modern UI, you can also use the classic UI, which is available by default. So users can switch back and forth between the UIs by using the menus shown on the slides. Switching between UIs is seamless, so there's no need to log out and log in again. This is especially useful for people that rely on Zimlets or customizations made for the classic UI that may not yet be available in the modern UI. So in conclusion, should you upgrade to Zimbra 9, remember that Zimbra 9's backend is the same. The classic UI is included and all Zimlets that are available in Zimbra 8 still work on Zimbra 9, even if they are not made for the modern UI. So one of the main advantages of using Zimbra is the ability to create integrations. And this really gives you a unique advantage in convincing your users to leave products like Microsoft or Google, for example. Now you might be wondering why this is an advantage. Well, if you're already using a CRM system that you don't want to replace, and you're only looking for a new email platform that offers more modern services, Zimbra 9 will meet your expectations. Thanks to Zimbra's scalability, your partner will be able to create the integration with the existing CRM and thus offer a new platform with new collaboration features, while still keeping the existing application within your company. Let's talk about another example where integrations can help. So if you represent a government agency, in many cases you will need to submit a request for proposals for the acquisition of a new messaging system. In your request, you will need to establish your specific requirements. I have found that in some cases the requirements are very specific. In fact, they are so specific that previously only Google or Microsoft could easily compete for a contract. However, with the scalability of Zimbra 9, we can now meet all the requirements equally well, combined with a low TCO, as the solution is much cheaper than the competitors. We at Zimbra believe integrations are a key to success. Therefore, we are proud to announce to you our integration with Zoom. Zoom is a video conferencing application that gained a lot of traction during these COVID-19 times. It can now be considered an established player in the conferencing market. Benefits of using Zoom is that it supports a large number of concurrent users and that it is offered as a software as a service. This means you no longer have to set up or manage additional infrastructure. The integration in Zimbra makes it really easy to use Zimbra right from within the Zimbra application. Jitsi is an open source alternative to Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or WebEx. Video conferencing with Jitsi is easy. You just create a custom URL and invite participants to join your video call. There's no limit to the amount of users that can join. In addition, there are no additional costs to running Jitsi when run on-premise. When you're in a video conference, you can share your desktop and chat with other participants. And Zimbra 9 comes with the Jitsi Zimlet. The Jitsi Zimlet allows you to add a Jitsi meeting to calendar events you create in Zimbra. You can then send the event to all your participants. Please note that the participants do not need to have a Jitsi or a Zimbra account. They only need a browser and internet connection to join. Rocket Chat is also an open source alternative to Slack or Hangouts. It's a chat application made for team collaboration, DevOps, and customer engagement. And Rocket Chat offers an app for iOS and Android, as well as desktop apps. With the Rocket Chat Zimlet, you can integrate Rocket Chat into Zimbra. This allows you to automatically create accounts on Rocket Chat for all your Zimbra users and automatically sign them on as soon as they click on the Rocket tab. Zimbra 9 also offers a Slack integration, Zimlet. Using the Slack integration, Zimlet is easy and intuitive and allows you to easily start conversations with your coworkers using chat or video calls. The Slack integration works in a couple of ways. You can hover over a user's name to see the user's Slack availability. And now you can start a Slack conversation. And all you have to do is go to the More menu and click Start Slack Conversation. Zimbra is also great for working with files and documents. You still have at your disposal Zimbra Drive, Briefcase, and Zimbra Docs for working with your files. But we also added a couple of cloud storage Zimlets to Zimbra 9 so you can integrate with Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, and Nextcloud. Using these third-party providers, you get additional benefits, like having desktop and mobile sync clients. Also, as most of these are offered as a software as a service, you no longer have to worry about your storage. I can also attach files directly from my Google Drive when I'm writing a new email message. I have two options to attach files from Google Drive. I just select one of the files from my Google Drive and attach them straight to this email. As easy as that, I fetched and attached a file from my Google Drive. I also have the option to share the file using a link in case I do not want to attach the actual file. The same works for Dropbox, OneDrive, and of course Nextcloud. Now let's talk a Let's talk a little bit about the latest Zimlets that are available in Zimbra 9. Nextcloud is an open source alternative to Dropbox, iCloud, and Google Drive. If you use Nextcloud, you can access your files anywhere on any device. Nextcloud offers apps on iOS and Android, as well as desktop sync apps. You can also combine Nextcloud with Zimbra using our Nextcloud Zimlet. This way you can add additional functionality for secure communication. For example, you can share an attachment via a link. You can optionally set a password and/or expiration date on links that are created by the Nextcloud Zimlet. You can also increase your productivity with Zimlet email templates, which is a Zimlet used to create email templates. So for example, if you need to send appointment reminders or invoices, simply create an email with placeholders and save it as a template. You can even store your template in a shared folder. This way you can create uniform communications because everyone who has access to the shared folder can use the same templates. This is very useful for your users who work in pairs or all users who always want to save more time. You can also use the Google Translate Zimlet to translate an email message right from within Zimbra. In a world where we tend to collaborate more and more with many countries, this feature could be very valuable to your users who may not be fluent in English or another specific foreign language, but who need to work with teams located abroad. And you can also use the social justice Zimlet to create awareness with this particular Zimlet. This Zimlet will suggest alternative words to use while the user is typing a new email. So for example, if the user were to type the word blacklist, the social justice Zimlet would suggest to use the expression deny list. And there are many more Zimlets than you might think, and we won't show them all today, but we have put some of the most popular ones on this slide. The voice message Zimlet allows you to record a message directly from Zimbra. This way you don't have to type your entire message. Instead, you can send the recording to the recipient. Or you can use the Zimlet sticky notes to add a virtual sticky note to emails. This is useful if you want to add a reminder to an email. Or use the Zimlet signature template to provide a uniform signature for all users in your company. And finally, a list of available Zimlets for the modern user interface can be found at wiki.zimbra.com. You can also create your own Zimlet. Recipes are available on wiki.zimbra.com, and you can also contact our channel evangelist so he can help you. And the last topic of today's presentation is Elasticstack. This is an open source application that can be used to view statistics. You can use Elasticstack with Zimbra to gain information about the well-being of your Zimbra platform. This will allow you to proactively evolve your Zimbra platform based on the needs of your users. You can also configure Elasticstack to monitor whether your services are operational. It can even send you alerts if it detects downtime in your platform. And while Zimbra doesn't come with Elasticstack out of the box, it can be added easily with the Zimbra Logger service. The Logger service is a part of Zimbra that runs on your server and records all the statistics you need in a CSV format. The CSV data can then be passed on to Elasticstack, who can view it for you. Now at this point, I hope we can get a little short demo from my sales engineer, Andrew, if he's on the call and ready to get started.
I'm on the call.
Wonderful.
So,
All yours.
Can you give me presentation rights because I need to share my screen? Actually, I can do it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So as Matthias has said, what I'll do is I'll give you a quick demonstration of the Zimbra collaboration web interface. So I'm logged into a system here using a Chrome browser, and I'll quickly go through the core functionality plus look at some of these integrations that we were discussing in the slides earlier. So Zimbra is a full collaboration suite. So it has applications that you would expect within there. Obviously, things like an email client that is showing here. We have a calendaring function, which users can obviously organize their agendas and so on. There is a contacts database. So in terms of maintaining your own personal contacts and also having access to things like the global address list within the organization, creating your own personal distribution lists and so on within there. Other applications that we have are things like the file storage mechanism. So we have the drive capability, so storing documents, files, and also sharing and collaborating with other users on documents. And all that data is stored within the Zimbra server itself. So in terms of privacy and security, where you have organizations that require their data to remain on their own, within their own data center, within their own geographic boundaries, then it's all stored directly within the Zimbra collaboration server. There's also a chat and a video conferencing capability within Zimbra as well. So it's very simple. Everything is within this single interface. So just to go back in terms of some of the functionality that you get within Zimbra, say we get a sort of message list here with a preview pane on the right, so we can preview the emails that we're receiving. We can very quickly go and preview attachments that are sent to us. They're all previewed directly within the browser itself, so you can easily review the content that you've got. You can create your own subfolders, nested folders within there, and also there's a very capable search capability within here. So we index all the content as it arrives in the mailbox, so actually searching through data is very fast, very quick. Even if you have a mailbox that contains, gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, 20 gigabytes of data, the search results are very fast. And the search context and criteria is also very rich. So you can create searches based on various different parameters around the email and the content of your mailbox. So it's very quick and easy to organize data within your mailbox itself. I'll just close up there. So you'll see that I actually have a save search there, so they effectively become almost like virtual folders within the system itself. Just in terms of some of the integrations we spoke about, so we talked about things like integrations with third-party file storage systems. So for instance here, if I want to add an attachment, I get the option where I could go and select content from my Dropbox environment, so I can very quickly go and review content and select content directly from my Dropbox account. Or similarly, I could potentially go to a Google Drive system. So again, I've got my Google Drive environment here. I can use those to add attachments to my email compose, and when I receive attachments, I can also download them directly into those particular file storage mechanisms as well. We also internally have the ability to review and attach content that has been sent in emails to me. So I've got a list of all the attachments that have been sent in previous emails, so I could use that as to create content in here, or similarly I could add images that have been sent within other emails within my environment. So very sort of efficient way of handling content and you composing your emails and so on. It is a collaboration platform, so it supports sharing and delegation. So for instance here, I have a user, David's mailbox, that's been shared with me. I can review the emails that have been sent to his inbox. I can reply on his behalf. I can send on his behalf, and so on, depending on the rights and the capability that he's given to me in terms of that shared folder. I can also do things like tag messages, so again, I can start organizing the content very quickly, and I can do that through filters as well. So, so quickly or automatically have tags and structure created directly within the mailbox when I receive emails and so on. On the calendaring application, again, fully featured calendar. Again, we've got the sharing ability, so I do also have David's calendar shared with me, so I can see his events and also my own events. I can create multiple calendars within here. I've actually got a Google Calendar feed coming as well through here. Different views, work week, day view, month view, all the sorts of things that you would expect of a fully capable enterprise calendaring application. When I create events, I can just do a quick add, or I can add further details. So again, I can set the start and end times, do repetition. I can do custom repetition of events. Here is another integration. So we talked about some of the integrations with conferencing systems and the capabilities. So I have an integration here with Jitsi. So I can very quickly and easily just simply say, right, I'm going to make this a meeting, an online meeting using Jitsi. I hit the Jitsi button. It generates a unique URL that will get sent to my attendees. I can add attendees in here. I can very quickly add users in here using the autocomplete. I can also show their availability. So for users, I can see their calendar and what their availability is for this particular meeting. So again, all those sort of capabilities that you would expect of a fully functional enterprise system. I'll just cancel that event there, discard that. So I talked about Drive. So we've got the Drive capability. So this is where we can store documents and files and so on. And actually within here, I can share files. So I can share with other people in my organization. I can give them different access rights. So I can give them a read-only view, give them edit rights or edit and reshare rights as well. So they can go and share those documents as well. Or I can actually extend the sharing to outside of the platform itself. So if I wanted to be able to share to someone outside of my organization or who's not part of the Zimbra platform itself, I can create unique links within here and make it public. I can also set a password associated with that as well. So I can share with people outside my organization. The other feature within here is the ability to actually go and edit documents online. So I can quickly open a document. I can start sort of adding content in here. And if I was collaborating with someone else on this document and it was shared with them, they would also be able to edit this file at the same time as me. And I would be able to see their edits being done in real time as we're both working on the document. So it's a full again, collaboration capability around documents and editing. And in terms of file support, it's based on LibreOffice, which is an open source editing engine, but it does support Microsoft formats, which are the common ones as well as the open standards formats. And in terms of the documents that you can create, it essentially supports text documents or Word documents. It supports spreadsheets, so Excel spreadsheets, and also PowerPoint. So those three document types can be edited directly from within the user's Zimbra environment within here. Just on the chat service, you'll probably see down when I'm in the mail client, I can open up a chat conversation and then have chats directly from within the different applications. So it will remain sticky as I move across different apps. So I'm now in the calendar app, but I still got my chat window up there. But if I then go to my chat application, I then get the full screen. So you can see that chat here. And within here, we can create what we call spaces. So I can now actually sort of start creating contained spaces within the chat groups where I can invite people in to have conversations around different topics and different subjects and so on. And then that can be further split down into channels so we can have subdivided conversations within there. I can see that Carlos has actually communicated with me there as well. And the other aspect of the chat or the conferencing service is that I can actually then initiate a video conference directly from within my Zimbra environment. So I can just simply click on the video conference icon, and then I can immediately just strike up a conversation with that particular user. So you can see me here. That's my little window. Dave is not around at the moment, so he's not actually going to answer. But it's a very quick and easy way to just have that sort of casual, quick conversation with your colleagues and your work colleagues and so on. So that's a built-in feature that's based on what we call Zimbra Connect. But as Matthias mentioned, we have integrations with other services. We looked at Jitsi. We also have an integration with Rocket Chat. So again, Rocket Chat is another Slack-like open source technology. So we've got the ability to hook into third-party services directly from within the web client itself. So I can very quickly, again, communicate through different channels and so on that are appropriate for your organization. So it means that you don't necessarily have to give up certain third-party services that you've been using. You can retain those, or if a particular third-party service has a better set of functionalities or features, then these integrations mean that you can actually start leveraging those components as well. But at the core of Zimbra, you've got all the capability and the features that you would expect within an enterprise capable collaboration system. So that's probably enough from me. I'll wrap it up there, but obviously you can communicate with Kenneth at TecFlax in terms of getting more information about Zimbra and its capabilities, but I'll leave it there. So thank you, Matthias.
Wonderful, Andrew. That was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Mariam, if you could make me the presenter again. Yeah, that works fine. Just going to share my screen again. Hopefully everyone can see that now. So it's just one more slide before we go to Q&A. I just wanted to quickly give you in a nutshell that Zimbra 9 really provides you everything you have always loved about Zimbra. We still offer the lowest TCO in the industry. And Zimbra, of course, is a secure, private, and provides full data sovereignty solution. And Zimbra never reads or sells your email, and you can scale your Zimbra deployment from 10 to 10 million users with confidence. Zimbra runs, apart from that, anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you want to install it on-prem in a public or private cloud or choose a hybrid deployment, the options are really wide open with Zimbra. And of course, Zimbra has an open source, which is our DNA, and we continue to use open source apps. Zimbra 9 will have an open core, and licensed Zimbra customers will, of course, have access to the code. And this really brings us to the end of this webinar. We'll have a look if we got any questions in the chat panel. I can't see it from here. Mariama, can you see any questions that are?
Yes, thank you, Matthias. I see one
problem.
question. So do you have an example of extensibility that covers a real-life business process?
I can answer that. I mean, there's a number of different integrations, and it depends on the organization. I mean, common ones that we tend to see in various particularly kind of businesses is integration with, say, CRM systems or ERP type systems. So things like platforms like Salesforce. I mean, we actually use Salesforce internally ourselves. So that sort of level of integration where it means that you can hook directly into your customer relationship management systems without having to leave your Zimbra environment. So that's a common one. Then it kind of depends on the customer. I mean, we have a lot of service providers who offer Zimbra as a hosted service. And sometimes they'll use the integrations to either integrate with services that they already have within the environment, for instance, VoIP type systems, or maybe could even be alternative file storage and sharing mechanisms as well. They'll utilize that as almost like an upsell in terms of what they can integrate with Zimbra. So yeah, I mean, we developed some of the common ones that we've seen requested. So the things like the Zoom integration, the Dropbox integration, G Drive, just being able to leverage those types of things. But then around the framework, we and the partner network will develop specific customizations for customers and partners and so on.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Let's see if there are some more questions. I don't see any more. Okay, so Kenneth, I think you wanted to add something regarding the demo that Andrew presented.
Yes, Mariam. I'd like to add some specific items on what Andrew had presented the demo. I'd like to highlight some specific features that I've seen organizations utilize it. So please, Andrew, would you share your screen? The demo.
Sorry, you want me to share my screen again, do you?
Yes.
Hold on a second. I think Mariama has to give me the sharing rights. There we go. Okay.
Yes, please. Andrew, I'll just be directing you. I know where you're supposed to go. You can go to the calendar.
Yep.
Now, from this calendar, I've seen organizations being able to create meetings based on their boardrooms, and staff within the organization are able to they have been able to stop double booking. So whenever you want to book a meeting with your team, maybe HR team or developers team on one specific boardroom, you're able to see if it has already been booked. Okay, that's something I've seen organizations doing, which is a very nice feature.
Yeah. So when you apply location, so that could be a conference meeting, or could even be a piece of like a projector or something. So the location and the conference room has a FreeBusy feed as well. So if it's already pre-booked, it would show whether it's free or whether it's already being utilized. So yeah, so stops it being double booked essentially.
Thank you. Thanks, Andrew. The next item is please go to settings on the top right corner. Yeah, so this is where you define your specific settings that you want to apply to your mail interface. We can go to writing email. So I've seen organizations really interested in the undo send. You can enable it. So when you enable the undo send feature, whenever sometimes you may have written an email and you realize, oh, I've not attached a document or I've missed to write an information. You are given an undo send button, so you'll be able to block the sending of that email. By default, I think it should be, 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds to stop the send of your email. And then the other item is feature is the add delegate. So you can delegate somebody to be sending emails on your behalf. I've seen that being done usually in government organizations. In case of maybe you have taken a leave and somebody can send emails on your behalf. So this is why you specify the specific user who can be sending emails on your behalf without having to share your the password of your email account. So which is a very great feature. Okay, that's one of the items I wanted to highlight. The other item is account recovery. So as admins, sysadmins, in case you are a sysadmin in your organization, maybe those who may be having Zimbra 8 and below have encountered issues of every time a user has lost a password or has forgotten the password, you have to create for that user a new password. So this is a feature which now removes that dependence on the sysadmin. The user can set up their own recovery email. They can set up their own Gmail email. So in case they have lost their password on the login page, they can click on forgot password, and they get a code from into their recovery email, and they can reset their password. Okay, that's a very great feature. I've seen it being, I mean, sysadmins being overexcited because of this feature, which is very good. And then I think those are the main items that I wanted to highlight.
Okay.
Thanks. There just came one more email in from Kennedy about email archiving in Zimbra. They have users using Zimbra Outlook connector and need archiving.
So, I mean, when they say archiving, they want to archive. I mean, archiving has different meanings. So, archiving data from their Zimbra mailbox into a local store or something. I mean, you can do that. I think you can do that with Outlook. I mean, you just basically archive it into a PST file.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's also compliance archiving, but that's a different thing. So.
Sure. I think he's saying archiving old emails in Zimbra.
Yeah, you should be able to do it. I think you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can always talk about this in more detail, Kennedy. If you want to send us an email, then we can always reply to that and go into more detail if you need any more details. So no worries. Great. I think that's it. I don't think there's any more questions. So, of course, we are always available. Please send an email to us, to me, myself, or Kenneth. If you have any questions, need any support, and we'll take it from there. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for the attendance. Thank you for the thank you to the presenter. Thanks for Mariama to organizing this, and I wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.